right? Lord, I'm not worthy to receive you, right? So I don't even know what that means anymore. I kind of need it more when I'm not in a state of grace, you know? Right? When I'm really struggling and feel like I've let God down. So I think, again, it's about compassion, it's about presence. It's not about these outside things that we bring in to monitor to what we believe, what the Catholic Church teaches per se. That's all embodied in what you're doing, right? The real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, the power of prayer, the importance of community in the body.
Do you use the same approach to the when the patient is sleeping? Can you use the same approach to the family who has just been notified that the patient is going to terminate in some short period of time? Do you use the same approach with the families you do for the patient?
No, actually, I don't use any same approach every time I walk in the room. I have to be honest, if you haven't figured this out. For me, it's about figuring out what they need. So the families just learned this news. You know, I will sit down with them and ask them, how are you doing? You know, tell me about what's going on. What do you need right now? Oftentimes they don't know what they need.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what, okay, so you just sit and talk to them.
Yeah. And again, at some point, so maybe you're talking with them more about their grief and this shocking news and they can't believe this. I spent my whole day today in this situation, actually. And eventually I will ask if they, I might even sometimes still say, do you want to pray? Are you still talking to God in the face of this? Is that important to you? Would that be helpful or not? I try to give options to people. Would it be helpful or not? Because I don't want to assume that it will be helpful. Then they might feel bad. No, I don't feel like praying. So just try to be flexible and open and ask kind of more exploratory questions. But just be with them in their grief. Oh my goodness. What was your relationship like? Were you close? Who's this person to you? Sometimes you find out that they're actually relieved the person's dying because, you know, they were kind of a mean son of a gun and you know, they're feeling guilty about feeling that way. So you never know what you're going to come up with. And again, your time is limited. So this is one thing I want to say. You're not chaplains. We are trained, as priests are, to walk with people, to look at the timing of this, to know how to draw upon different aspects of the tradition to help them move when they're in spiritual or emotional distress. This is not your training. So what I want to say is you're there to respond and be compassionate and not short-circuit their process, but you're not there, like the Romero prayer said, to do the whole bit. So also just be aware, don't get in, try not to get in over your head. And one technique you can use is something like, you know, I have to be honest, I have other visits I need to go to. I see you're suffering. I'm glad we've got to spend some time together. I would really like to have our unit chaplain or our priest come by to continue this conversation. They're much better than I am. They've helped lots of patients in this such situation. Because you're not trained to do this, right? And you shouldn't feel like you need to start doing something. I think that's when you get in trouble. What you bring is so valuable, frankly, that you need to honor that and focus on that. And then be prepared for some of this other when it comes up, but know how to hand it off. We're your team, we're your resources there. Again, in most of these institutions. Warren Bar, maybe not so easily accessible, but what would they do for Warren Bar? Call here? And, yeah, so call Kelly, she's part of your team there. But again, knowing how to bridge without just making the person feel like they're kind of abandoned there and you haven't heard them. I hear how much you're suffering. Boy, I hear these big questions you're asking. Thank you for sharing this with me. I really feel honored. I'll hold this all in my prayers over the weekend. If you feel like they might not be open to somebody coming or you're not sure who's available, just leave and then go find us and page us, right? Say, this is what I'm finding. I'm wondering if you could check it out.
When a patient is notified that they have a terminal illness, are the chaplains notified immediately to come back to that room?
No. So you can imagine how many patients are in our hospitals, like 1,200 or something like that. We are not notified often. And in fact, we fight with patients that we know and have a relationship with. I have a young woman right now who's about to get probably really bad news that her disease is back and spread, I'm begging the residents and the physicians to not go in there without somebody who knows her and cares about her and who she confides in. So unfortunately, no. We are paged to most cardiac arrests, to most deaths. If they're looking at removing life support in the intensive care units, we're paged. But no, so we actually look to other hands and eyes to be able to say, did you know that, oh, I'm not sure if they need anything else, but I just heard, you know. So, yeah, just page that main number or leave a note for the chaplain in the anteroom even.
I had two situations that kind of caught me off guard too, where people were dying. And I wasn't quite sure how to deal with it, but I think I did the best I could, and I called Kelly, and Kelly was so gracious and kind. She set up a time to come in, and she listened to me, and we talked about it. So, you know, if you have a situation that you're not sure if you did the right thing, or if you want to know what to say or what to do, you know, Kelly or, you know, like you said, Andy Chaplin would be more than happy to help you get through it.
Well, so that's the other piece. It's emotionally kind of distressing for you guys if you're in there and you're around all this grief and you weren't expecting it. We have peer consultation groups. We have supervisors we talk to. Talk to somebody, because you can't just carry this all around either, especially if you're hearing this. And once you open your heart to really be present to some of this and don't just want to make it all better, if you're in the face of it, it's a lot, isn't it? So that's what we're here for. And like you said, Kelly, you know, Kelly is a certified chaplain. I don't know if you guys all know that. She's done this work. That's why she's in this role, because she gets it big time. Other pressing things that have come up?
Final comment. Many times when I go and I leave, I feel like I've got more hope and encouragement from the people that are visiting. It's just amazing how that impressed me so much.
Well, and even sometimes the people who are dying, like I have a woman we're sending home with hospice this week. I went in to see her because her doctor was all worried about her. She started telling me stories about how she had to give her jewelry away because her husband wouldn't have a clue about who to give it to, and she needed to get home to sit in her chair, and she still had those dresses to kind of figure out what to do with because her husband wouldn't have a clue about what to do with it. She was like so there, so present, so able. I'm like, wow, I hope I'm like that. Yeah, so completely. All right, I know you guys have to go. Thank you for your time, letting me share some of my experiences.